Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the Sloppy Modeler, and welcome to my ugly mug. Starting 2023 here early January with a bang, working through a long-term project that we've had for a long time. I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Dale, and I've been your Sloppy Modeler, and enjoying seeing your comments, your subscriptions, your likes. And we've just topped over 750 subscribers, which to me is unbelievable. But very excited for that, very pleased, and very happy, quite frankly. So we are looking at, you're going to see some video here shortly of the Battlestar Galactica Reimagined series. I don't know if you call it a diorama or what you would call it, plaque. That's not a plaque, but it's definitely, you're going to see the three models we've been working on. We worked on them for months. The Mark II, the Viper Mark II, the Viper Mark VII, and then the Cylon Raider, the new reimagined version of all three of those. And they've all got lights in them, and then I went and put together some niceties, and we'll talk about a lot of that in a bit as we go forward here. And see some of the video, and I'll explain what you're looking at. And I just want to say that I'm so thrilled with the way that this turned out. The base was a tremendous amount of work and effort. Just one thing led to another, and you needed new tools and new product, and the cost kind of got away from me, but I've got all that stuff now for future projects. And as we're moving forward, we'll talk about getting back to the USS Defiant. But for right now, again, my name is Dale. Welcome to the Sloppy Modeler. I am the Sloppy Modeler, and you'll see that in spades. But we're happy to have you along, and let's go take a look at the Battlestar Galactica hangar bay. Thanks. So I couldn't resist a little bit of Battlestar Galactica Old School from 1978 with the theme song there, even though it doesn't match this. The music in the Battlestar Galactica Reimagined is very drab. Lots of deep, just slow, plodding, methodical music, and it goes with the much more gritty, style that they did for that. But to me, it doesn't have the optimism of a bunch of people looking for Earth, if you will. So we're going to go through several passes of this back and forth, and then we'll also look at some stills. Here's the interior of the Viper Mark VII using the paragraphics. And any of these builds, you can go look at the full build on the YouTube channel that I've got, and you'll see the full build and what went on to do that. But a couple of things we'll walk through as we pan back and forth on this, and then come to some of the different stills, is the base, or the hangar bay, how we painted it up. All of the containers that you're going to see in here. We'll talk about the lighting, and we'll talk a little bit about, you know, just like that right there. It's that black hose that feeds from one of the jars over to the Viper Mark II. Also, you can see the interior lighting here, again using the paragraphics kit, and some of the weathering on the guns and so forth. And I just really think that that turned out nice. Turning down the lights on this, you can see the flashing, blinking lights on both of the Mark VII and the Mark II. Also, I have to give it to the guys that did the lighting kit on the the Cylon Raider. That traveling eyeball and the guns flashing, and then the back with the lights flashing for the engines just really did a dynamite job. And if you remember, the bottom of that's got some glowing lights too at the same time. The whole thing measures about 30 inches wide and 14 inches deep and about 10 inches tall. This is a big display. I'm going to have to find a place for it in my house, but the big key is I wanted it to look like the interior of the hangar bay. I did look at a bunch of online pieces, and it's got that red and concrete and yellow theme, and it gives us a really nice look at what we're putting together here. I also had to use my table saw. I cut each of these pieces of poplar with those grooves and then painted the grooves black. Again, the color here is Artifact from Hobby Lobby. It's a craft paint, but it's a chalk paint, and that gave us that real light concrete look with the black stripes going through them. The three V-shaped pieces that you see, those are shaped with wood, and those were basically kind of the same thing. Shape them with wood, paint them with that Artifact paint, and then do a little bit of weathering on them. And I think that those turned out really fantastic. If you look at any of the photos of the interior of the Battlestar Galactica hangar bay, you get a sense of that, and so that's what I tried to put together. Here's one of the essential oils jars, and I went and got at one of the hobby shops like 5 of these that are this size, and then painted them different colors. You saw some that are red, some that are green. These are silver, and then I would take various hoses, and you can see there's one coming off of the red fire extinguisher into the motor. There's one coming off of whatever that is in silver, and then here's a cool one that comes off of this silver jar, and then here's the lighting, which is there's 4 lights on each post, and then there's 3 posts for the whole thing. It was just too dark with the lighting from the ships alone, so I wanted to light up the hangar, each of the hangar bays, like they would be working on it in some fashion or shape. The little green, red, and orange right there, those are also essential oil vials, and just painted those up to match, and I thought that those turned out good. And then I used what's called dry fit decals. I didn't have the decals in a water slide, so basically you just rub them on and put some clear coat over them, and that seemed to work pretty nice for just giving a semblance that, hey, these are a bunch of hazardous chemicals or flammable or explosive, and that's kind of what I was able to do for that. We do have 2 really good sized speakers there in this kit, and you'll see in a little bit what I used to put that together. The regular sound card I normally use has only got 2 watts, and those are 2 5-watt speakers, so I had to go with an amplifier, and I'll post a picture of what that combination looks like. But here's one of the big barrels. All these barrels came from a Walthers kit, which is a train hobbyist type company that makes kits for these. Basically took them out, glued them together, and painted them up and put the decals on. Here's a really nice dark pass. I have only got 1 accent light on it, but you can really see the guns light up both on the Viper Mark II and on the Cylon Raider. You can also see the triple blink. Right there's a triple blink on the anti-collision lights, and I think you can see at some point you can see the the nav station keeping lights, and those are blinking. Here's a couple quick looks at those decals on the barrels or the big containers from Walthers kit, and again, I really like the way those turned out. I also like those red fire extinguishers or whatever they are, and they're pointed to each of the engines in the back. Just kind of had a little bit of fun with that. And then you can see here coming up is the what you can see there is the red and black supports underneath the Cylon Raider. Nice little shot here of the interior again, but also of the guns that I had to make out of brass and then paint, and then also weather at that stage. Very, very challenging to put all it together. And this Viper Mark II, however, is filled with light leaks, and it was just the dickens to put that together, but I think all in all I'm pretty well pleased with it. Here's another pass in full daylight with the lights running again. Again, you can see the green and the red blinking there on the Viper Mark II, and the just one anti-collision light on Viper Mark 7. The little silver button down in the lower front of that is the changing of that rate for that particular light. And then again, here you can see some more of these essential oil bars or jars painted up, and just added some stickers to that. I think it turned out real nice. So a quick pass here again. One of the things you'll see is those black hoses, and that's just some rubber hose I found. It was white, but I painted it black, and I really like the way that comes off of that silver vial right there in the center, and then attaches into the side of the Viper Mark II. That's actually coming from some of the footage from the hangar bay. Here again, you can see one of the vials with one of those hoses coming off, and that actually goes into the Cylon Raider. So just once you get in the groove, once I got in the groove, I was able to pull this all together and make that happen. Really like the red and the gold, and how that came together with the runway, if you will, or you know, the do not walk patch or whatever. You'll see in a couple of photos online that there is a Cylon Raider, a Mark II and a Mark 7 all in the same spot, which is just kind of cool. Again, here's one of those fire extinguishers, painted up red, and then it's got a decal on it, and then running some hosiery into the back of the engines of the Viper Mark 7. Just seems like that would be one of those safety factors. So very cool. We're going to do a quick, sorry for the shaky cam here, folks, but this is just a quick review of what it looks like when it's lit up. There's the Viper Mark 7 with the interior. There's that hose coming in. There's the Viper Mark II with its interior and its pilot in place, and you can see those little pieces there. Not a lot to this. Sorry about that. And then you can see kind of the burners on the side of the Cylon Raider. And again, here's those girders that were painted black and red, and the light that's shining down on it, and of course the light for the Cylon Raider that's going back and forth. And then there's the buttons for the stereo, pause, play, forward, reverse, volume up, volume down, and then power. And then again, a couple more of these vials that I just think it's a nice touch with the way that all turned out. You can see the engines are the guns firing here, and that was all done with an Arduino. So all the lights on that Viper Mark II are run with an Arduino, and learning how to program that. So that was a lot of fun. Here's a little couple of pieces there. You can see them with the tanks in the back. And just again adding a little bit more realism that there would be a way for all this to come together. Here is the two-part piece of that. So one on the right there literally is a 2-channel 5-watt or 10-watt amp, 5-watt amp, 5 watts per channel, 2-channel, and this gives you a really nice stereo system, and that really works well for this. And again, you can see here's the big speakers. There's the blue glow on the flashing on the back of the engines. You can see those are kind of warbling, and those were just flickering 5mm blue bulbs that went into that for the most part. So that is going to about wrap up our tour of the hangar bay. This was a ton of work, as you can imagine, putting all this together, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And I don't think I'll do another one of this size, but definitely it was something to look forward to. So again, thank you for coming along with us. It's a pleasure to start 2023 with you. If you do like what you see, hit that like and subscribe button, of course, and we're looking forward to a wonderful 2023 as we go into the new year. Thanks.